Hi everybody, Sarah and
Jessica
here from Embody Movement Pilates Studio. And what we're going to do in this video today is do one of my favorite exercises I love to give our clients to help relieve their shoulder and neck tension. We do have a lot of tight shoulders around.
Yes.
Do you have tight shoulders? If you do, give me a thumbs up and let me know that you're watching. So we're going to go through the exercise. We're gonna show from both sides, and if you can join us right now and you're watching it live, even during the broadcast, go ahead and lie down. You're gonna have to have a mat. If you can, you should have a block or maybe a couple of towels to roll up to put underneath your head and to support your neck. Okay, so that's what we're gonna cover. I have been a Pilates teacher here in Lisle since 2007. I opened up my studio, which is Embody Movement Pilates Studio here in the Central Park of Lisle at the corner of Warrenville and Naperville Roads. And I've been teaching fitness since 1994. And then Jessica has joined us. She's been
I've been teaching for 5 years Pilates. I've been teaching Pilates for 5 years. I was teaching in the city in Chicago, and then now I'm here in Lisle, Illinois at Embody Movement Pilates.
That's right. Okay, so that's who we are, and so we're going to get started now on the exercise. It's called a side lying rotation. Okay, so it doesn't have the word shoulder in it, but it is about the shoulders and the chest. So what Jessica's going to do, she's going to lie down. I hope you can see where we are. Good. Maybe move down just a touch, because I think we're going to go over the camera. All right, so Jessica is going to lie on her side. She's laying with her hips stacked and her shoulders stacked. Okay, so nothing about this exercise should be uncomfortable for you. If it is, then maybe you should skip it, and you shouldn't feel any strain in the neck, the shoulders. If you have discomfort underneath your hips, pad up maybe with a couple extra mats, okay? All right, so she has her hands together, her knees together, and it's like her back is against a wall. She's trying to keep a little bit of range of space underneath her waist here. So one thing, so Jessica's going to show kind of like the wrong way to do it. She's going to collapse her waist down. So what you'll do is you'll just pick your waistline a little bit off and keep your spine as long as possible, just like if you were sitting or standing up straight, even though you're side lying. So she's going to bring her hand up, and what we'll do is reach up towards the ceiling. One of my clients likes to call this exercise opening the book. So if you remember what a book is like, and you have a hardcover book, it's like she's opening along her spine. Let's actually change where your block is. So let's move your block a little bit back. The block is underneath her head to support her neck, and she's reaching her arm long around behind her. And in the front, you can't really maybe see it, but her arm on the floor is also reaching kind of along the floor, and it's this idea of pulling one hand away from the other gently. Inhale, go ahead, and she's going to bring her arm back up towards the ceiling, and exhale. So this opens up a tight area of the chest, and the shoulders often kind of collapse when we're over our desks or over our phones. Go ahead and inhale, bring your arm up. Okay. And she has a nice long reach through her arm. Her elbow is straight, but it's not stiff. And then as she goes opening, she's trying to fall a little bit, the back shoulder, the right shoulder in this case, towards the ground as she allows her chest to open, and she's getting a stretch here in the pec. It looks really nice, good. And it's only the second repetition, and she's already getting a little bit more range because we're using the assistance of gravity. Lower your arm just a little bit. The assistance of gravity here helps the weight of your arm come towards the floor, but you don't want to strain in the joint. So allow everything to soften a little bit, even though the arm is straight. A little softness in the joints helps. Inhale, bring the arm back up. Good. And then exhale, and she's just going to bring her hands together. Okay, so this is one of my favorite exercises, but guess what? There's a variation. So that's, we'll say, stage 1 or version 1. So I'm going to have her take her head down. It looks a little cockeyed at first there, but we have the block out of the way, and so she's just going to take her hand, and it's like she's mopping the floor here. So her fingertips are touching the ground, and she has a softness about her elbow as she goes around. Good. Now she's going to do that same rotation as before as her arm goes over her head. Her knees stay heavy to this side, and as you can see, her hips still stay pretty much stacked. She's just letting her hand drape along the floor. Now this might be different for you because not everybody will be able to reach the ground. It just really depends on your shoulder. So she's just taking a big circle around her body and her hands meet again. She's just going to repeat it, and she's just honoring what she feels. If she feels stiff in her chest or shoulder, she's just slowing it down, and she's just keeping her hand trying to touch the ground. If yours doesn't touch the ground, honor that and just lift your arm up, because it might be too much at the moment. After at least 3 repetitions, if you go nice and easy with this movement, gravity will help you open up some of the tight areas of your body. Just remember to breathe deeply as you move, because in the rotation of the spine, which she's doing through the upper part of her spine, we're moving the ribs, and we're getting a little bit better motion through the ribs, which increases a better breath flow. Did we go the other way? No, well, let's go down. Okay, so let's go the other way. So she's taking her circle now around. I sometimes call this a lasso, because we're just sending the arm around. Try not to whip the arm around, and always, as you go, just honor where you are. And every repetition might also uncover and yield other tight areas. So you might loosen up some areas. Let's hold here for just a second. I'm just going to help her because I can, and she can't see herself, but her ribs are just a little bit up. So we're going to just let her drop the ribs in and feel a little bit more grounded. We're on the ground, so that's helpful. And we're just getting a little bit bigger of a stretch where we're in the rotation. So you're not trying to crank on anything, and you shouldn't feel like you're stressing joints ever or your ligaments. Then go ahead and continue and finish your round back together. Okay, and then bring the hands together there. Okay, and then, so go ahead and sit on up. Another thing that we can do is add a weight to that. So if you will flip on to your other side, and then go ahead and this. All right, is it okay? Come down just a little bit so you're in the camera. All right, I'm just gonna get a weight, and you're okay with like a 2.5 pound weight?
Yeah, totally.
Is that okay? So another variation is to add a weight in your hand. Okay, so we're just gonna grab a weight really quick, which I probably should have grabbed earlier. I do look towards the back there. Sorry, I just disappeared, but I'm back, and I'm back. And so here's a weight. This is about 2.5 pounds, but a 2-pound weight is just 1 pound is fine even. And just that little bit of weight added to this rotation will kind of change the exercise to some degree, because now we're adding something to resist against in gravity. So again, her hips are stacked. She has a long waistline, and knees are going to stay in this direction towards me as her arm goes towards you. Inhale, bring your arm up. Good. Hold there for just a second. Let's make sure that this block is underneath your head all the way for support, so her neck doesn't get cranked on. And then now she's got a weight. So be careful, soften your elbow a little bit. Be careful as you go. As you can see, she's opening up her chest and her shoulders here. Good. And she's gonna carry the weight with some care. Hold there, just there you go. You don't want to let the weight fall open in your arm, so you don't want to strain the joints. How's that feel?
Good.
Good. It's a nice stretch to carry the weight in your arm. Inhale. She's going to float her arm, not muscle it, but float back up. You see how slowly she did that, and carefully exhale and rotate back. In this case, the slower you go with that weight, the better it is for you, right? Inhale. In Pilates, we like to say, less is more. And so we don't have a very heavy weight, and we're not trying to move super duper fast. Good, just lengthen your ribs just a little bit there. Drop your shoulder easy. There you go. So you can see sometimes the weight will change some of the trajectory of the arm too. So take an inhale, float your arm a little slower. Yeah, there you go. You can see you can end up muscling in the pectoralis, which is the muscle that is in the front of the shoulder. And actually, we're trying not to do too much energy through there. That's what's already tight. Okay, so inhale, bring the arm up. She's going to do it one more time. All the way up and over. Good. So you can see she's reaching and looking. She's turning her head to follow her eyes to her hand. The head and the neck have this relationship to the shoulder, and especially to the tightness in the front chest And getting a chance to open up both the front and back of your body will help you where you carry your neck. It also helps you find a little bit more core connection, which is not exactly present in this particular exercise, but it will definitely allow more access for you to find your core later. Go ahead and bring your arm back up. Does that feel good? You kind of hung out there for a while.
Yeah,
She really was liking that stretch. Woo. Exhale back. Good. All right, so are you tight in your shoulders and your neck? And do you think opening one arm to the other, like this big span, is this an action that you do every day? You know, it's something that we do need to find more of in our day-to-day activity, because we spend a lot of time hunched over the desk. So, or over your phone or something like that. If you spend more than a couple of hours in that position, oh, let me know in the comments, and we can definitely help you with that. Try this exercise, okay? All right, the variation that we'll do now with the weight is going to be without the block, so remove the block.
Perfect.
There you go. And she's going to use the weight in her hand here. If it's too much, just let me know. Okay, so we're going to do this is that roundabout, so we'll just do a couple in each direction, okay? So she's, let's actually lift the weight up ever so slightly. The difference here is keep a little softness in your elbow. Now, the weight is gonna change how she rotates. You can see it's a little different. Her elbow has to stay a little bit more bent, and she's not dragging on the floor. It's different. Now, if the weight would be too much for you, of course, just omit it. This is just a variation on the earlier exercise. Bringing it around. How does it feel?
Feels pretty good. It's different exercise, definitely. I mean, it's not that it's different, but the weight changes the game.
The weight changes the game, she said.
Changes the exercise slightly.
Yeah, so you can feel that. Oh, the tasking is now gravity is assisting her even more because she's got the weight in her hand. So what's nice about this exercise, you're lying on your side. You're taking advantage of gravity in order to assist you with the alignment of your rotation, and you're able to open up the chest and shoulders, good, without too much strain. You're very supported with your head, your neck. Turn your head a little bit more, look your eyes towards the fingers. Yeah, so your eyes, I was cueing her eyes so that she can really turn her head, because your eye muscles actually will assist you with stuff like that. One more time around. And I'm going to stop her at one point here, which is going to be a really nice stretch for her. Okay, pause right here. And then just go ahead and drop your ribs a little bit in. And I'm going to ask her to reach like this top knee. So don't over twist a little bit, yeah. But I'm asking her to pretend that her knee is projecting to the wall behind me as her arm and her shoulder are projecting in a diagonal reach away. It's a nice way to get an even deeper stretch. And because she has the weight in her hand, it might be a little bit intense. Is that okay, though?
That's awesome.
Okay, because you could always do this again without the weight. All right, you're going to finish up your circle. Slowly come on back. Good. There's no whipping around that weight too much. Good. And then come on back up. All right, I'm going to take that weight out of your hand. Slowly bring yourself up because you've been lying on your side. I'm going to turn and face the camera now. Good. And so that is the side lying rotation. I'm just kneeling here. So how did that feel for you? Tell me how it started and how it felt at the end.
So I felt like at the beginning I was really opening up through my body and definitely through my pecs, because I know I have a lot of tightness there.
Pecs are tight.
Yeah, and even some of these, well, definitely upper traps, but some of these neck muscles, I felt my lats sort of stretching too.
Yeah, you get a nice, because you're doing a reach through the arm. So you're getting a whole part of the shoulder girdle just by doing this simple big arm movement.
Yeah, biceps, definitely what you said earlier.
Yes.
I felt that stretching because my biceps are pretty sore today. Weight changed it too.
The weight changed it too.
Kind of made it like I was working my muscles but lengthening them, so it was still like a stretch, but I was using a lot of control through the joint motion. So,
yeah, biceps, it sounds kind of silly. It's nice to feel strong in your biceps, but the thing is, right now, with a lot of the way living is, we're already tight and short in the bicep. It feels good to have a nice looking arm, of course, but at the same time, that tightness actually precipitates even more tightness that can sort of grow into, it's like a seed. Like if you have a seed of tightness, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know
it's like
exactly what
if
you're
you have a
talking
seed of tightness here, it can grow tightness up into your shoulder, which will also prohibit you with your neck. Okay, so a lot of times neck tightness and bothersome, yes, that's about your posture for sure, and this exercise helps change the posture of the upper portion of your body. But allowing those areas to release also will, you said you felt it too, it will also help you release those areas of tightness in your neck. Now, we want to know if there's other exercises that you would like to have us cover for you next. So I want to thank you for joining us today. Please like this. If you know someone who would like to open up their shoulders and chest, please tag them in the comments and share this video. I'm Sarah again at Embody Movement Pilates Studio. Thanks so much for joining us today. And we hope to see you real soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thanks for watching.
Bye.
I gotta come over here. Here I come. I gotta turn off the camera.